growing up, I grew up in a broken family. My father and my mother, they were both using drugs heavy and very much alcoholics. And that kind of put me in a hard situation because it felt growing up like I had myself and myself only. There's been a number of situations where I needed God to get me through something, and He did. I lived with my dad for like 8 years, from 12 to 18. That was also my dad's dream, was for me to be a famous musician. So that was the most important thing to him. So it kind of carried on to me. Yeah, I grew up like that. Like music was everything. Nothing else mattered. There was a lot of like emotional things that went on. And I believe that's what sprung my anxiety, depression. And I felt alone all through those years. I never knew what comfort was until I found God. When I was real young, I think I was 2. Like I said, my parents were bad on drugs, and we had a problem with defects. So I got taken away to a group home for a while. While that was going on, my grandparents actually came and picked me up. They showed me the way of God. I didn't really understand what was going on back then, but now I see what they were trying to do. I really appreciate that, because I don't know if I've ever known God if they didn't show me. Back then God was definitely pursuing me, but I was ignoring it. And I wanted to live my dream at the time, which was to be a famous musician. And it seemed like no matter how hard I tried, that God always just found a way to move in there and change the situation for me. Before I actually gave my life to God, I was playing shows all the time in a band. We were touring all up and down the East Coast, and I was living my dream that I thought was my dream. I just remember as time went on, the same thing over and over and over. All the partying, all the shows, all the people, being around all those people, you can just tell that none of them actually knew God. And it was actually dragging me down. And finally, I was just going down this spiral. I just felt this sense of guilt and shame every time I would, at the end of the night, finally, God had His way with me. He definitely stepped in and made things happen. He made the band just disband and made all those people disappear from my life. And I had nowhere else to go. I was pretty much homeless. I moved to Florida from Georgia. Something just called me to look for churches around here, and I just typed in on Google Maps. And there it was, church experience. I came 1 week, and I auditioned the same week, and the rest is history. Just really loved the atmosphere and the way people are around here. And then sitting in to the messages, Pastor Brandon just does a really good job of connecting with you and having personal one-on-one time with you. So, and everyone around here is just like that. Life with Jesus is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I remember back then I had anxiety. I was having to take medication for it. Now I don't. I don't ever get anxious. And when I do, I pray about it and it goes away. I dealt with a lot of depression. I don't have depression anymore. I'm always cheerful, and I always look at the bright side of things now. And I always think, in every situation, am I doing it the way Jesus would do it? And that's made me so comfortable in this new life. No matter how hard you try to do it your way, it's not going to happen. He's going to pursue you. And there's nothing you can do about it. You got to start living for Him, because that's what it's all about.